Recently, I was shown some pictures from a seminar that I did, and I was on stage dancing in front of over 1,000 people in London. As I was looking at these pictures, I was reminded of a very poignant moment in my life. I was about 13 years old, and my whole family went to Disney World in Florida. There was a lot of us, maybe 12, 13 members of my family, my cousins, everyone. We went to the House of Blues restaurant. You may have been there. I found out that it was a gospel brunch, and there was going to be some sort of performance. We walked through the doors and got led down to our table, which evidently was right in front of the stage. Now, I don't know if you're going to know what I'm talking about here, but as soon as I saw that table in front of the stage, I began to get nervous. Because the immediate thought I have is, what if this live performance in some way involves the audience? I don't want to be anywhere near it. And I was so scared and shy and insecure at the time that thought that at any moment this performance might involve me meant that I could not enjoy my meal the entire time I was there. We got our food, we started eating, and this huge group of gospel singers got on the stage and started belting out these beautiful songs at the top of their voice. Then, like something out of a movie, this woman, the lead singer, steps off stage, down the steps, over to the tables, and she's standing in front of me, looking directly at me. And she grabs my hand, not taking no for an answer, stands me up and starts to lead me up the side steps to the stage. My heart is pounding. I'm freaking out. The only reason I'm not running away is because I felt it would be more embarrassing to yank my arm off of this woman and go and sit back down. Before I know it, I'm standing in the middle of the stage with all of these beautiful, rhythmic gospel choir singers around me, dancing away, and me clapping my hands awkwardly with no rhythm, not in time with the beat. I can only imagine the expression on my face. And part of me knew the expression on my face must have been ridiculous, because I looked down at the table, my family table, to see all of my cousins dying with laughter, doubled over, pointing, and absolutely hysterically laughing. Every part of me started to tense up. I started to get embarrassed, and this sounds extreme, I know, as I'm saying it, I can hear it sounds extreme, but it's the truth. I felt like crying there and then on stage. When the song ended, which felt like an eternity later, I got off stage, I went back to the table and got crucified by my cousins. And my dad had this weird look on his face, which at the time I couldn't quite place. As I started to grow up, I started to learn how to deal with social pressure, people confronting me or putting me in difficult positions, or even just being in front of a crowd and having fun, or dancing at a party, or being around people, holding court, being the center of attention. Years later, and after working on myself a huge amount, I was on stage at my own seminar. My dad came to see me for one of the first times. He'd never really seen me public speak, and in fact, he was so wedded to the idea that I wasn't as public speaker, that wasn't in my nature, especially the way I'd grown up as such a shy, introverted person. And at the end of the event, my dad was talking to me, and I was saying, it was a great event. I said, some people in the audience were disagreeing with me, but I said, they'll come around. And I was carrying myself with a completely different level of confidence. And my dad looked at me, and he was emotional, and he said, "Do you remember back when we went to the House of Blues when you were a kid?" He said, "I remember that day. You broke my heart." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Because I watched you on stage and I saw how hurt you were. And it wasn't that people were laughing at you." He said, "That didn't bother me." He said, "It was that it affected you so much, that you were so deeply hurt by it. And I could see it. While everyone else was just laughing, I could see how affected you were by that." And he said, "It broke my heart." He said, "I wish I could have done something." And he said, "I felt powerless." When I look at you, that boy then, compared to that man that's up on stage, he said, I can't believe it's the same person. For me, it was one of the times in my life where I felt the most connected to my dad. He'd seen who I was before, but he'd seen who I was coming out the other side. This metamorphosis of a person. When you tell me the stories of how frightened you can be, of how nervous you can be, of how in your own head you can be, I understand that, because that was exactly how I was. And probably worse than a lot of you who are watching this video. There are probably people watching this video right now who will be saying, what a load of drama about nothing. Because the truth is, that's a story about nothing. That's not a big event. There are people dying in the world. That's a story about nothing. Most of the hurt that comes in our lives come from things that we don't need to hurt about. But we don't know how to transform ourselves. And it took me many years to figure these things out. I did it from watching the best public speakers, from looking at the best socializers and how they work a room. I looked at the best negotiators, the best salespeople. I was literally building this wealth of information on the micro level things that people do to have the maximum amount of impact in their life. I spent years putting together information about all of these things into one place so that it was almost like a system that I could download into myself. You know, in the Matrix where this is a geeky reference, but Neo needs to learn Kung Fu. So they plug him in, download the system, and now he knows Kung Fu. I wanted there to be this system on people skills that you could plug yourself in and just download it into your brain so that you could be incredible with people. I'm telling you this because right now we're ready to release something that reveals how I did this and how I went from that shy, insecure, terrified teenager to the me that I am today. All of this I put into a program that I have held back for many, many years. And the reason is simple. I use these techniques every day. It's a very personal program to me, and I haven't been ready to release this for a long time, but the amount of people that keep coming forward to me and saying, I want more than just love life tips. I want to learn about people. I want to become a master with people. I want to learn influence. I want to learn how to be the most charismatic version of myself. I want to have impact in every area of my life. I want to be able to negotiate better. I want to be able to sell better. I want to be able to hold court at a dinner table and tell a great story. I want to be able to work a room. I want to be powerful in life. I don't want to be this diluted version of me. The amount of people that keep saying that, I can't keep ignoring those people. I want to be able to give back to those people and not hold anything back. So I found a way to, I think, have a kind of compromise. On the 31st of this month, I'm going to release a certain number of copies of this program. I've called it Impact, how to sell yourself and get everything you want. I'm releasing 977 copies. 99 of which have already been reserved by my private clients, the clients that I coach just one-to-one, which means I only have 879 copies left. That's it. This is my way of opening up to the people that are serious, but not giving it to the world, where I expose all of my secrets and my techniques to everybody out there who wants them. This is just for those hardcore fans that really want to learn this stuff. This is going out to 100,000 people on my private mailing list. It's going out to over 100,000 people on YouTube. So you can imagine how fierce the competition for this is going to be. But the people who are serious inevitably will get their hands on it. Now, what I'm doing today is offering an early bird list. For those people that want to get in before everybody else, you have a 20-minute head start. Here's how you get it. Below this video is a link. We'll put it up on the video as well at the end, where you can click and go and register for the early bird list. It simply means that you'll get a chance to buy your copy before everybody else does, before the rush of 200,000 people starts landing on a page where there's only 879 copies left. So go get on the early bird list now. Make sure you get your 20-minute head start, and I will see you on the 31st with the announcement. Once you're on the early bird list, watch out for an email in your inbox that day. Mark it out as an important day. Be checking your inbox regularly, ready for that email, and I'll see you then. Good luck. If you want it, I hope you get it, and I'll see you on the inside of Impact.